Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin' Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to color these different ice creams. Only we're just doing one color, but these are different colors that I've made. And today we're using the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set and dies. These are a bundle. During the month of June, they are 10% off the bundle price. So let's get started. So this particular one is using, what's the color? Flirty Flamingo, and I think I mixed it with something else. This one was done with Peach Pie, and I used another color in it, I don't remember which. And this one is Pretty in Pink with Berry Burst. And this one, for our sample, I just stamped it in Berry Burst and used the lines on the swirl itself, and that's how I got the coloring. So I will show you. First thing we have to do is stamp the cone. Well, we don't have to, but we're going to stamp the cone first. And I'm just using pecan pie and just stamping it here. And then we could use the die to cut it out, but for class purposes it was much easier to do it, just hand cut it. So I'm using a dauber and I'm just daubing a little bit of the color just to give a little bit of dimension here. No science to it, just a little bit of, it looks kind of messy now, but when it's all put together it looks good. And we'll quickly cut this out. Like I said, there is a die for it, but this goes pretty quick because it's pretty simple. And I just, because the lines don't go up, I just went straight across. Okay. Alright, now we have our cone. Easy part. Well, the rest of it's easy too, but people struggled with it, and I'll give you a couple tips of the trade, so to speak. So now we will take, I've already cut out the cone, and this is on our watercolor paper, and I will be stamping it with Pretty in Pink to start with. We're going to experiment with the color at this time. I'm using the big ice cream part of it. And because it's so big and it's already cut out, this is the way I like to stamp it. So I'm using the smallest point, sticking it on the top. That way I can move it around without it really messing it up. And then just pressing it down. And we have our image. Now to do this, it might, well, we'll try it. We'll see what we can do here. So I'm just taking a block, a clear block, putting ink on it, and we are going to put some ink. Now that was Pretty in Pink, and I will put some Calypso Coral, no, not Calypso Coral, Flirty Flamingo on this one, and we'll see what kind of color we get. So this is Pretty in Pink first. And you want to use a, what do you call it, a water, oh gee miss, the water painters that Stampin' Up offers don't seem to, you can't squeeze them real easily, so I'm not fond of them. So these are some old ones that we had. So I made sure that it's pretty wet, and I'm starting at the top here. And I'm going kind of along the lines just to give it a little flare, like a flow, like it's flowing. And as you can see, you don't need a lot of the ink. And again, making sure that your ink is wet. You want it as wet as it can be without like making a big mess. But, and you can just see that I'm not like fussy coloring it. A lot of people were feeling like they had to go like this, just little things, but it works better if you just kind of swish it almost like when you're using the blends to kind of do the free stroke, and that was difficult for a lot of people. So now I have the Pretty in Pink. We'll just set that aside for a moment. Because this color is pretty similar, I'm going to use, now this is Flirty Flamingo. And it just adds a little bit of color to it, just kind of a little different. And you don't have to do the entire piece with it, just some of the parts of the swirl here. You can leave some white. It's okay to leave white. And you can see I'm not real particular on the way that I'm coloring this. Just kind of grabbing some ink and putting it on there, and put a little more on the top. And this is with that Flirty Flamingo. So I don't know what kind of flavor this would be, but it looks nummy. After we were doing our class, everybody felt like they needed some ice cream. I should have had some available. So that's pretty much it. Now we will just run these blocks through water and they'll get nice and clean. They work better to do it that way than with a wipe. I think I'm going to add a smidge of Berry Burst since it's here. So I'm just going to, there's already some in my pan here. It needs something. It needs something. So I'm just going to take what little bit is there and some of these bigger spots just to deepen it and give it just a little bit more texture. I'm not doing the whole thing, just parts of it. Okay. See how I kind of just gave it a little, well, maybe you can't see, but it just gave it a little bit more dimension. Now it looks more 3D. I'll wipe off my pen later, or my brush later. So now this is how I like it. It looks really nummy. So that's really, there is all to it. Now we'll let it dry for a moment. You don't have to wait real long. And then I'm going to put a little adhesive on the bottom or the top of the cone and just set this on there like so. It's pretty big actually. And we'll wait just a little bit for it to dry. So in the meantime we can put the rest of the card together. And I have a couple little fun things with that using the sprinkles. So it goes pretty quick to get the card together. I'm using a piece of white, and I can't remember if it's still current, the painted, I think it's just painted textures or something, the 3D folder, and it looks sort of like ice cream kind of hanging out. So we'll put some adhesive on that. I did this backward each time. So I'm going to put this, I have a piece of the Enchanted Beauty, I think it is. It's the new In Color Designer Series paper on the back. It has that. But it's just got a nice look. It almost matches our ice cream. So I'm putting that on the right side. And then I'm taking a little 1/2-inch strip of the pecan pie right against this piece here. And now we'll add our white, and it just goes over the top so you get a nice straight. Okay, then this I'm just going to put some dimensionals on it on the back. Try to do that quickly. Oops. And then we'll do the sprinkles, and again I'll show you a little bit of fun that I did with the sprinkles and how what I found was the easiest way to put them on. Okay, all these things that we find over the house, especially after class, I have to definitely vacuum, and they still don't end up in the vacuum. Now the front of my ice cream is a little damp yet, but it'll be okay because the back is dry. Okay, this one I'm going to put on a little bit of an angle, like so. And then, get these out of here. Now for this, then I stamp this on the pecan pie, and this is Yum Yum. We'll cut these apart and just, it's embossed in white. And then just stick these on here like so. Now for the sprinkles, there is a die in the set that you can see we took out some of them already. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, they can kind of see it's shiny. And what I did is I took a piece of packing tape and ran it over the pecan pie paper and then ran it through the machine. And then I have these sprinkles that are shiny now. So that's kind of cool. So I did a whole bunch of them for class so that I didn't have to do that during class. So I'm just taking any adhesive. I like this little petunia one because it gives such a tiny little dot. And the best way to put adhesive on is, or to put these on, I'll show you that. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. So you can see they're tiny, tiny dots of glue. And then I use my pickup tool, the sticky end of it, in case some people never knew what it was for. You don't want to keep this real tight. You tighten it to make the sticky come out, and it just is enough to pick up these little pieces. So we want the shiny side up. So can't tell if it is or not. And then you just stick it on your little dot of glue. Put a circle here, like so. And what I like about the glue is if it oozes out a little bit, then you don't really have to worry because it comes right off. It doesn't stay sticky compared to our Tombow glue. So that's just a personal preference. Doesn't mean that the Tombow is bad or anything. It's just not my preference. So we just keep putting these little sprinkles all over. And because they're shiny, it gives it a cool look. You don't have to add any more bling to it because this is enough. It just gives it just that little bit of oomph. Put one there. I got one more glue thing here. Put one of these. And now they're all stuck. And you have more for later. And that's pretty much it for the card. You can add any more sentiments. It has some cute ones in the set, but I just wanted the Yum Yum to keep it kind of generic. So this is that color. So this is Flirty Flamingo and Pretty in Pink. Again, we have the Berry Burst. You can see the differences. This one was Pretty in Pink and Berry Burst. This one was Peach Pie, and I think I added a little berry to it. And then this one was just Calypso Coral first. So this one's a good comparison. This was Calypso Coral first and added some other colors. And this was the Pretty in Pink. It's just a little smoother. This one has a little bit more swirly look. So I hope you enjoyed watching make this, and you can either just go have some ice cream or make it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.